Welcome to Central Valley Talk, where we celebrate what's good about Fresno. Not just Fresno, but the whole valley. There's so many good things going on, good businesses, good facilities. And when we find one, we want to bring them on this show and introduce you to them. Our next guest is the Director of Sales and Marketing at the Vineyards at the California Armenian Home. Our guest is Ramshaw. Welcome, Ren.
Well, thank you, Mike. Like I said before, I feel like I'm visiting a dear friend. And it's so nice to be here in person and be able to be here with your viewers. I know that when they tune into you, they probably feel the same way.
I hope they
do. Know that you're bringing them some good information.
Well, when I go to the Armenian home, it's like going, we used to have do you still have the Armenian picnic out there?
We do.
The Armenian picnic, I've been so many times. And
the blessing of the grapes.
Yeah.
The California Armenian Home has been around for over 70 years, serving the Central Valley with care for seniors and a nonprofit. But about 7 years ago, we actually developed the Vineyards, which is an expansion. So now we have the full continuum of care, beautiful independent cottages, assisted living, memory care, skilled nursing, all on one 40-acre campus. And our next endeavor, the board is discussing and starting out with our Center for Cognitive Excellence.
Cognitive, that help us remember stuff?
Right.
We all need that, don't we?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we're hearing more about that. I think for those of us in this type of age, older, younger, they do say that age-related memory loss starts around the age of like 35, 40. So many of your viewers, that might be a concern for you. And it's not just about remembering. You know, it's like we can do Sudoku. We were talking about that, doing the word games and making sure our brain is active. But we're looking at a full program that includes nutrition and looking at the chemicals in our homes.
They're learning a lot more about that now, aren't they?
Yes. Kind of the cookware that you're using.
But even 10 years ago, we didn't know this stuff. So.
Absolutely.
Now, I've had relatives stay there, and we're not Armenian, so you don't have to be Armenian to go there.
You don't have to be Armenian to work there or to live there, but we still have a beautiful connection to the Armenian history and legacy. Our board is comprised of volunteers, many of whom are Armenian family members whose great-grandfathers and grandmothers were involved with the building of the original Armenian home that I've heard different stories. I believe it was 40 acres that was purchased for $20,000. And that's a great deal if you know the price of land these days. But that heritage of just buying the muscat orchards and then turning it into this small care facility and then larger skilled nursing, assisted living, to grow now where it's a state-of-the-art place to live if you're over the age of 60, but also work. I think we were talking a little bit about how it's important to have people who really love their jobs, no matter what industry you're in.
Yeah, let me ask you about that. You have to love your job to work at a place like that. It takes a lot of dedication. And by the way, if I say anything, I'm 65, so if I say old people, I'm talking about me or seniors or whoever.
There is no us and them. I like to remind our young folks about that too, because if you're 25 now, you will be 50 in 25 years, and getting away from that idea of us and them. Right. I volunteer on the Fresno Madera Agency on Aging Advisory Council, and I listen all the time to find out what do people think about aging and how can we better serve our aging population. And the aging population starts the day you're born. Right. So it's nice to get away from the stigma and just have fun every day.
It's interesting now that I'm 65. It's not that old anymore.
It's not.
And,
it's the new 30.
So it's not an old people. So they're young people. They're 60, 65, 70.
You have to be over the age of 60 in order to move in. But I do encourage folks, if you're kind of interested or curious about what the Vineyards California Armenian Home does on a daily basis, we have a very robust social media presence. Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. And going back to the LinkedIn idea, if someone is looking for an amazing career that's either involving healthcare or hospitality, culinary, maintenance, we have it all. It's like a city within itself. And it's
great place to work.
It's a great place. Actually, it's an official great place to work.
Certified great place
to work in 2024. Wow. Our beautiful HR department got together with a third party who did a survey with our staff. And our own staff voted that we are a great place to work. It's just not management saying we're going to be a great place to work. It truly is. And when you can go home every day or every night, depending what your shift is, knowing that you've made a difference in somebody's life, that's an amazing reason to come to work again the next day or the next night.
I want to clarify a point. I was getting to the point that I'm older now, and I notice my memory is just not the same anymore. But a lot of times that's why people say, I need to move someplace where, it could be secure and feel safe. And
A little more support, maybe simplify things.
But you guys are working on that cognitive.
We are. And so instead of just being complacent with it and saying, oh, it's just something that happens, we're partnering with Dr. Dale Bredesen and his team to just assess what can we do in our community to introduce a brain healthy diet that has more of the nutritions that might support brain health. It does support brain health. Also making sure that folks have the ability to have good sleep and less stress, less chemicals, getting exercise on a daily basis. And these are things that we can all implement in our own lives. You don't have to move into the Vineyards in order to have access to the Cognitive Excellence Program. This is something we can make small changes every day.
I want to put up some information here on the screen, and that is that people can find you at, they can email you, but they can find you at, what's the website?
lifeatthevineyards.org.
Okay. And also you have an Instagram. What is that?
We do Life at the Vineyards Instagram. If you
it's on the screen there.
It's on the screen, and my phone number is on the screen too.
We can't see it from here, but it's there on the screen. And they can email you, right?
You can email me, call.
Vineyardslife.org.
And sometimes there's just some curiosity and confusion around senior living. And this is, for a lot of people, this is the first time they're turning 60 or 70 or 80 or 90, and it's the first time the adult children are seeing their parents age. And so a lot of times we don't talk about it. And there's some isolation that happens. So if we can just kind of unpack the questions and talk to people, I find that the anxiety is lessened, the fear about aging is lessened. We could talk about the money aspect, the care.
So people could just go out there and get a tour and talk to you and
Absolutely.
ask questions.
Use this as a resource. We've been doing this a while.
Yeah. I want to say this. We've been doing this, our seniors show, for years and years. And the one thing I find out is people wait until like it's an emergency.
Yep.
And they don't have to. They can go visit. They can go to the picnics. Blessing of the Great. There's a lot of things to do out there where people could start getting used to going there.
We actually have a lot of fun on a daily basis. There's diversity in interests, in the types of people that work there, the types of people that live there. So if you're a bookworm and you really love watching maybe like your new book show.
Briggs on Books.
We have a library on the third floor. We even have a movie theater, but we also have a lot of social options for people who might want to have some more connections with their peers.
I looking at the olden days, 20, 30, 40 years ago, they just housed people. These facilities just housed people.
Yeah.
But I feel like now it's like going on a cruise. You got the food, the entertainment, the activities, and it's a really full life.
It's a cruise ship on land. It's
cruise ship on land. That's what I like to think.
But there's also the component of care, and I am very delighted to know that I work at a place that also has a fabulous skilled nursing community there too. So skilled nursing is for folks who maybe are going through a hip surgery or experienced a fall and need more of the nursing care.
Right.
For short-term rehab, it's a wonderful option so people can stay there, get the care they need, and then go back to their assisted living or independent living apartments.
That is wonderful. We've run out. I could talk to you all day. We've run out of time. Last thoughts on the Vineyards at the Armenian home?
We are grateful to be a great place to work in this wonderful Central Valley. We've been doing this for over 70 years. We look forward to the next 70 years. And if you're curious about some of the things that are going on in the senior living industry, please give me a call. I'd be happy to answer your questions.
Right.
And thank you, Mike.
Yeah, like I said, don't wait till it's an emergency. Start asking
Right.
now and visiting now. We'll be back with more Central Valley Talk right after this.